Hey, what's up? We're live. We're live. Um, yeah, I like this thumbnail too. This you said it was Lou Bega? I didn't even really remember that guy.
Well, I was looking at it small, like on my phone. It wasn't all blown up.
Well,
You
you can see
remember
it
Lou
now.
Bega, that Mambo #5 motherfucker?
Yeah, I don't think he was as gay as this guy though. I think that's that,
Or yeah, I mean, uh,
or just I think gay in general. I don't know. I don't know if Lou Bega was gay or not. He's the Mambo #5. Yeah, sounds gay.
well, like, the way the song's structured, it's to make you well aware he's not gay. He's listing off all the women he's been
Oh
with,
yeah, good point. Yeah, he's got a
which
case
is
of the not
probably the
gays.
gayest thing you could do.
Yeah,
You know, like
he's
to
like
distract away
overcompensating.
from how gay you are.
Yeah, he's overcompensating. That's a good point. Exactly what that is right there. Oh yeah, so some breaking news. I don't know if it's breaking news or not, but
Breaking? You mean like it happened before you had prepared everything?
it only happened 3 hours ago, so it's pretty new. Hollywood writers actor strike is causing delays in the movie. I think we might have talked about this already, but it's pretty bad with what's happening here. Oh man. Here we go. Yeah, so we already got some delays that are gonna happen. The only one thing that I care about with all these delays is like I hope they don't delay Dune 2. That's all I'll give a
Delay
shit.
what?
Just Dune 2.
Well, what's the matter if
Dune
it's
Part 2.
delayed? You know,
I mean,
I'd
I
rather.
kind of just I mean, it's coming out at like November is a good time for that movie. So it's like I'd rather just out then. It also kind of sounds like these delays are not really about the movies themselves. It's more about I think Hollywood, since they can't film anything right now, they're like, we gotta space shit out so that the stuff we have done can like make up for the stuff we don't have ready. So I think it's kind of partly that, but it's looking like the movie Craven, which if you watch that trailer, oh my god, it looks fucking embarrassing. Ugh,
Craven?
yeah, it looks so fucking bad.
What's that?
I guess he's like a Spider-Man villain. It's part of that since Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, they get to make their own superhero movies that kind of feel like Marvel, but kind of don't. And that's sort of like
Oh,
that
Craven
Venom
the Hunter.
movie.
I saw that trailer. It's
Yeah,
yeah, it's
it's really
trying
fucking
so fucking hard.
yeah, it looks really fucking bad. Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse is delayed, which kind of sucks because that movie like leaves off in the middle of the story. I mean, I don't know if that's kind of a spoiler. Not really a spoiler, but it's like that's a part one, the one that just came out, and it really is like it just sort of cuts off. So that's kind of a movie when you have a movie that cuts off like that, you really want the second one to be released like a year later at least. So it's not like a huge people forget about where the movie was at after a couple like, but 2 years later, come on.
2 months later.
It really should I mean, the plan was to be, I thought the plan was to be yeah, it was gonna be March. It was gonna be, like, a little less than like 10 months later, which is pretty short for a movie. It's pretty short for, like, a sequel. Ghostbusters Afterlife has been delayed. I don't think anyone cares about
What's
that.
that?
They made that Ghostbusters Afterlife with the Stranger Things boy,
Oh, okay,
teen,
yeah, yeah.
man child
I,
kinda thing.
I wasn't sure if you meant like another one of the female version of the last.
Oh, no, no, that's been, like that's the pencil erasers came out to that one.
Wait, so how does like that this other
People like this
shit
one.
get made?
Yeah.
Like, because does like Harold Ramis have control over whether or not they make more movies, or
Well,
will
Howard Ramis is dead.
no, I mean, like, did he have it like contractually
No.
worked
The
out?
only one who seems to be, like, gripping onto his stuff, like, at, like, a big grasp is the the filmmaker who did Back to the Future. What's his fucking name? He did Forrest Gump.
Zemeckis?
Yeah, Robert Zemeckis is like he
Robert
does not.
Zemeckis.
He
He did a
absolutely
lot
does
more than
not
that, man. That
want.
guy's got a pretty
Oh yeah, good. A lot of his
ridiculous
stuff. Well,
resume.
he's got some faults too. You can look it up. He's got some bad shit. But
Who
he doesn't
doesn't?
want.
Like Brian
Yeah,
De Palma's got a bunch of bad shit too. You know, it's hard to be
yeah.
flawless.
But he doesn't want to like have a reboot of Back to the Future whatsoever, which is kind of cool to hear because I think everyone agrees.
I'm surprised. Like when I think about reboots, like how has that motherfucker not been touched out? That shit should have been like still fucked to death by now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. That's because he doesn't want it at all, and I think it's gonna be like in his will, I'm sure. But
yeah, but they'll find
but
a
also,
way.
the Ghostbusters was Ivan Reitman, who was the director, and I believe the son is now doing. Like, I'm pretty sure the son is doing stuff for that. He's another Reitman. Jason Reitman, maybe it's Jason Reitman. Yeah, it's Jason Reitman. He's the one who's now kind of taking over the franchise. So at least it's still sort of within the family kind of thing. Karate Kid reboot has been pushed. I didn't even know this was happening. I mean, why do you even do a Karate Kid reboot when you have like you have Cobra Kai going pretty well? I think I would wait till that's like settled and
Yeah,
done.
I mean, to me, like Cobra Kai is so successful and beloved. Trying to compete with it seems like a real bad idea.
Yeah. No, it's
I'll
just
be right
like
back.
I would
I gotta
like it
get
was like
some.
pretty yeah, it's pretty good. Oh yeah, do your thing. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like why it's I would really wait. I would wait until that's just all fizzles out. I'd wait like a year or two after it's done. I guess this is Hollywood that's trying to, they try to make money off when they can, strike when the iron's hot, but I don't think that's that with Karate Kid. Um, Speaking of Karate Kid, you got to know how to, you know, work your hands, do the right things, and I know a person who's really good at using his hands to make things happen here.
This is a good mystery. No. Just stand there. I can look at myself in the mirror, and I can start laughing at myself. Fear of the monsters will keep you in a good balance, walking along the rail.
Fear the Monster.
Are you getting it? Yeah, I'm getting it. Are you getting it? You gotta get it, man.
Are you getting it? But the most important thing is you gotta know how to ham bone.
Can you ham bone?
What's that?
Gary Busey's definitely our mascot of the show, by the way. He's become our mascot. Definitely our mascot. Another movie here that's being delayed is a Blumhouse project. They Listen, which they got a shit ton of those fucking movies. Blumhouse, Blumhouse is like the shitty A24. They're like the what is it? The Asylum version of A24. Not nearly as bad as the Asylum, but they feel like they're like the stepchild of A24, which by the way, everyone thinks is a big indie studio. They're owned by Warner Brothers, A24. That is a Warner Brothers division. That's it's like they come off like they're this indie artist that's we're doing our own things. It's cool, like made everything all at once and we won an Oscar. We're like independent studio now. You guys are making money for Warner Brothers. But you know what? Good for Warner Brothers. I'd rather have them make the money than Disney. So well, I'd rather have Disney put out stuff that people want to see. So if they had like an off brand like that, that'd be kind of cool. They used to do that. They used to have Touchstone, which I believe was I thought Touchstone was Disney's. I'm gonna find out right now. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Touchstone was Disney's subsidiary, where they would kind of put out certain movies that they didn't want to put under the Disney vessel, but they would put under another filmmaking vessel, which is kind of cool. I feel like Touchstone wasn't bad. Trying to see what movies they did here. It was definitely. I feel like there's a lot of movies that I liked on here that like I thought they were good, but it's funny to hear that they were that it was Disney, and now it's since been a thing. It stopped in about 2012. Lincoln was the last movie made through Touchstone. So it's funny. Spielberg has always had his hands in the Disney pot. I think that's been the case. But Spielberg has look at all the Indiana Jones movies. Those are Paramount. So I think he's
I
just
thought
sort of
Spielberg and George Lucas were together for a while.
yeah. Well, they were in like all right. So Indiana Jones was Lucasfilm. So yeah, a lot of the things
But they were
done
like a
with Spielberg.
partnership.
I'm actually Spielberg really was. I think every like all of Hollywood wanted a little piece of him, so he was kind of for everything. But Lucasfilm would release their stuff on Paramount. Paramount was kind of the movie studio they would really go to the most. Indiana Jones always has a Paramount thing. Even in this new one, they have a reference to Paramount, which is weird when it's coming out from Disney. Very weird. But I'm looking at the top grossing films from Touchdown. So you got Signs, you got Armageddon, Pretty Woman, Wild Hogs, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's a good example of that's a really good example of Touchstone. Disney didn't want to put out Roger Rabbit under their brand, but they put it out under Touchstone.
Did we? We should. I feel like Wild Hogs is something we should have did a reaction.
Yeah, I've never seen Wild
look at
Hogs ever. That's something we
it's
should
so
have
bad.
at
It's
one
with
point
John
done.
Travolta, William H Macy. It's like Tim Allen. It's such a weird cast, and Ray Liotta is the villain.
Well, it sounds like boomer bait kind of thing, so it probably worked for the time. Okay, my next thing here, Shuffle Dakota Fanning are getting wait, Dakota Fanning are getting Madam Web. What the fuck is that?
Wait, who would you like if they did make a Back to the Future reboot? Who do you think they would have Marty McFly be played by?
Timothy Chalamet. You put him in anything.
Blonde or whatever.
Sure, why not? Put a wig on.
Michael J. Fox isn't blonde, but they'd have to like change his hair to make it look closer to it.
You know what I think you do? I think you actually speaking of Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse, you know how it's like all these different dimensions and realities and multiverse. In the multiverse that they're in, Eric Stoltz. Oh no, never mind. That's the Flash. Oh, I'm sorry. Wow, I'm fucking it all up. The Flash movie, when they're in the Flash that has Michael Keaton Batman, Eric Stoltz is the Back to the Future guy. Because he's like, they're talking about Back to the Future, and he's like, what's his name? What's Marty McFly?
Eric Stoltz. I only know from like this John Hughes movie with Lauren Thompson and this like tomboy girl who plays the drums.
Well, you know about the lore of Back to the Future, right?
They shot a bunch of it and then scrapped it.
They shot practically all of it, like 3/4 of the movie. Like that's why the budget was pretty big.
He's not that funny, you know.
No, there's all these screen tests. He doesn't like work at all. It's like I totally get why they're like, no, this is not work. It's just it's really bad. Like I don't know. It honestly, it feels like a movie today where it's like I think a lot of the stuff could be miscasting. It was like a perfect cast for Michael J. Fox, but in the Flash they talk about Eric Stoltz being in the movie, so that was a funny little ad in there. Venom 3. I didn't know they're making a third one of this. I feel so bad for Tom Hardy that he's got to do this shit. He's a good actor.
I didn't know they made a second.
They made a second not too long ago. I don't think it did good. I think it was a Venom and Carnage movie. Remember Carnage from the 90s?
That movie with him and Shia LaBeouf, that Australian movie where they're running liquor, it's pretty fucking good. Lawless.
I don't think it was American. It was American. It's not Australian.
I thought it was from the guy who did that Australian Western.
Oh, I think he did do it, but he shot. It was an American-made film, though. Yeah, It's by
That movie's
yeah.
good. Guy Pearce is he plays a good villain. He's fucked
Yeah,
up.
it is by that guy John Hillcoat, who yes is
Yeah, that movie's really good.
Australian.
I almost like want to rewatch it. I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, I remember really liking it a lot. You got Jessica Chastain showing her tits in that too, right?
Yeah, but it's so dark. It's like purposely blacked out to where you can like make it out, but it's so brief.
They're there though. But Venom 3. Jeez. All right, so it's coming out July. Bad Boys 4.
By the way, do you think Jessica
Ugh.
Chastain is a real name or a Hollywood name? Is that a birth name?
I think that is her real name, yes. I don't think that's one you don't make up. That's like not a good name.
It sounds like a porno name. Jessica Chastain?
Well, it's Chastain.
No, I know, but like the it writes itself.
But yeah, that is her legal name as far as we can know.
Okay.
It's funny. I'm looking at her. She doesn't have a big. Oh no, she does. She's born in Sacramento to a rock musician. I don't know who this fucking people. I don't know who her family is. She was estranged from the father. I don't know. Interesting. Bad Boys 4. Get my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. Do you think that'll come up into the movie there? Get some slaps.
This is Last Grossman. Who is this?
This is Flaming Dragon!
Oh, okay. Flaming Dragon. Fuckface. First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face!
Oh, yeah. So I saw Mission Impossible yesterday. It's all right. Pretty good.
Hold on. That meme is, very relevant right now. You got to spam that shit out of that while Oppenheimer's still coming.
Yeah, I mean, so I saw some of Oppenheimer. What I saw was pretty good. I'll say that. Like I was it was after the bomb has dropped and he's like giving a speech at like a high school and he's like kind of freaking out because he just pictures all the people getting killed in Japan from the bomb. So that scene was kind of good.
Yeah,
what I saw.
I mean, I don't want to. I'm not gonna like write the guy off completely. I find him to be like a bit of a douche, but he definitely does decent shit. But
yeah, I mean,
the whole like
I don't like him.
Do you think that was pre-planned? Because don't you
think, I definitely don't like I don't like any of those Batmans.
This magnitude should have been staggered. Like to me, like the agents or like producers of these movies should have said like, listen, let's like you do this like a month from now or two.
Dude, it should have. This is a movie.
Compete with each other,
This should be a November movie,
man.
Like
like advertising, predisposition thing to have them together for some reason.
I don't get it. This is a movie. Even the little piece I saw, it's like a November movie. It should have been put out during like the Oscar season. This will win awards. Like I'm sure it'll win something.
You always know, like when Oscar bait's coming.
Total Oscar bait.
That's
why it's like,
especially with like these new rules, it's going to be even more blatant than ever.
That's why it's like, why are you putting it out in July? But dude, I'll have to say this. I also because I waited a little bit to like I was there waiting, so that's why I saw some of Oppenheimer, and then I went into the Barbie movie for a second. The Barbie movie, dude. It was a fucking Thursday at like late at night, and that whole theater was fucking packed. There wasn't a single seat for me to like sit down in. I had to like sit. It was like I was actually like blown away. I was like, this is crazy. And then I saw other shows. It was like the whole movie theater was packed because everyone was going to see Barbie. Like it really is. And this is a theater that like I've been to multiple times recently, and it's like a dead fucking theater. I keep thinking like, when are they going to shut this thing down? It's like any day now this will shut down. And then this is like, I've never seen this many people in this place. Oh, so it really is bringing in people. Oppenheimer had people, wasn't crazy. Mission Impossible had like 5 people. I feel bad for Mission Impossible because it was a pretty good movie, and I think it's getting really overshadowed by this Barbie shit.
Earlier than all this.
Yeah, I think I would have put out Mission Impossible I would have fought against Indiana Jones if I was them. I would have gone for that 4th of July weekend. I don't know why they do this. Maybe it's a political thing in Hollywood, but I would have totally like went head to head with Indiana Jones because that movie fucking shit was shit. It's still like it'll come up in here. It's embarrassing. The numbers are embarrassing for how much they spent on this movie. Fucking crazy. This is one thing I actually do want to see. Neil Blomkamp's Gran Turismo. It looks really good with David Harbour, Orlando Bloom. August 11th is coming out. It actually looks pretty good. I guess remember the Gran Turismo video game? It actually kind of looks pretty awesome. Like I saw the trailer and I was like, "Oh, this actually looks like entertaining." It reminds me of like Forest Fieri or just it looks like a pretty good movie. But the biggest thing is I don't want Warner Brothers to move Dune. That's like what I'm looking forward to the most this year as far as movies go. I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I'll see it when it comes out, but I'd like that one is like the only movie at the moment I give a shit about. There's only one movie that I would actually like want to see. Which is sad, but hey, that's fucking movies these days. All right, yeah, let me talk about Lando. So Lando just got rid of their head writer. The Lando show that no one really remembered was still happening. It is still happening.
What's the Lando show? Martin Landau?
No, Martin Landau, I think is long dead by now. I think so.
Lando.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Landau. This is
Great.
the Landau show. Yeah.
This in Atlanta. When's the next season?
Well, that kind of comes into play. The Atlanta stuff. Everyone loves Lando. I mean, everyone loves the old Lando. I don't know if people really give a I don't know if people even know he's Lando. You know, I think that movie kind of went on the radar, that Solo movie. So I don't know. But the director and writer guy has been let go, and he's the guy who did he's the guy actually he's right here in our in the thumbnail, right here on the left with the I'm too gay thing here. But he kind of came out and said, which is really weird because he spoke out against Disney or against Lucasfilm, which is Disney. And he just did the Haunted Mansion movie, so he still works for Disney. His movie is through them, and all his things probably will be. He kind of came out and said, Hollywood is just like being gaslit. He says he's. Let me see, let me get the quote here. Let me get the quote. I know he said it here somewhere. He said, "I can't help but wonder, am I too black? Am I too queer? And just people don't want to say that because they've essentially just sort of kicked him off the project." Then once he said this was like a day later. Like a day later, they released the news that Donald Glover and his brother, not like black person brother, like his actual brother, are gonna write the show for Disney Plus for Landau and Lando. That is the other writer of Atlanta is his brother. So I guess that's sort of why they're doing it. I kind of think the success of that show is sort of lending in credibility to this. A lot of people didn't even know that he was going to come back. There was all this talk that he didn't want to ever be back with doing anything for Star Wars. So now he is back. And that guy, Justin Simon, who is off, he was like a super wokester, did Dear White People, which you could look that up. That it just looks like fucking horrible. You know, typical horrible woke movie. I think it's for Netflix. I'm sure he'll be okay. When you're a black director in Hollywood, I'm sure, like right now, he's gonna still be. He'll be fine. But Solo wasn't like a terrible movie. It was very okay, and I don't think like Donald Glover was that bad. Also, I'm pretty sure like isn't Donald
Solo?
Glover? Yeah, it was okay. It's like it's not like it's. I
Well,
don't
the
think
guy who
anyone
played him
saw it.
is long gone, right? He did Hail Caesar, like a kind of bit part, and then there's
No, he's in Cocaine Bear. He's not like totally gone.
okay, Cocaine Bear.
Actually,
Was he
speaking
the
like that,
lead
there
in
is some
that?
connections to that though. The guys Chris Miller and Phil Lord, who are the guys who did the Lego movie, and they were going to do Solo. They got fired, and then Ron Howard stepped in. Those two guys also did the Spider-Verse movies, which are pretty good. They made Cocaine Bear. They produced it, and that is kind of probably why the Solo guy is in it. So who knows? He could be sort of just in it because friends type stuff. That's a big thing in Hollywood. You become friends with the right people. That'll get you some jobs.
Yeah, nepotism rules
I mean,
all.
talk to Michael Madsen on that one. I don't think anyone's hiring him other than Mr. Tarantino. Am I right? Like, who wants like a fat cowboy in their things? That Hateful Eight role was pretty embarrassing too. He's got this little cowboy hat on. Looks like a 5-year-old pretending to be a cowboy.
You got to show that. I don't know what you're
I
talking
guess.
about.
Let me see. Remember, he's got this like comically small hat, and it made me think of like when a little kid has a cowboy hat. Michael Madsen, Hateful Eight. Let me pull this up. Oh, you know what? Maybe just in my mind. Maybe I just like was embarrassed by this. It looks like a regular cowboy hat, but in my mind, I pictured him having a little cowboy hat, like almost like a
Like
yarmulke
somebody
size.
riding a mechanical bull or horse or whatever outside of a shop.
Yeah, I guess this is all just completely in my mind because I pictured him having this like tiny yarmulke sized like cowboy hat. No, he's got a
Mandela
regular
did.
cowboy hat.
Yeah.
I think Mandela effect is in play here. Yeah, but picture
I've
him with a
been
little cowboy
Mandela
hat.
a couple times. Call
Yeah,
myself
picture him
black
with a little cowboy hat, and that's exactly what I'm thinking of. But isn't Donald Glover?
Did you see Leo's the favorite to win with Coleman Domingo?
Oh, okay. Coleman Domingo's from Fear of the Walking Dead.
Who's he play?
Strand, I believe his character is called Strand.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
He must be trying. He must be up for the award for the color purple. He's a gay black guy in real life, so that probably
You're working it.
that probably pushes some things up there. Yeah, I mean, he was also in the Candyman and probably like the most terrible role. He's not good. He is not a good actor. I mean, maybe he's good in The Color Purple. I don't know. Not a movie. That's one probably not for me. But I thought Donald Glover was gay. So hearing this is, I don't know. So it's like they're anti this other gay guy, but then they're gonna get Donald Glover who's gay. So I don't know. Well, Donald Glover has said he doesn't want to put a label on his sexuality. I think something like in college he thought he was gay or something. Yeah, they're right here. He's like, man, I don't really know.
Label it because he doesn't want to limit his market.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. But
Maybe
he said like, man, I don't know.
For his next album release.
Yeah, here's my impression. Man, I don't really know. Most of my college years, me being like, I don't know. I don't know what I like. I had friends who asked, "Are you gay?" And I'd be like, "I sort of feel like I am because I love this community." That sounds like typical pandering right there. Probably not gay. That sounds like some pandering.
Yeah, he's trying to will they won't they with himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
Like they're selling bar drinks, but they never kiss.
yeah, and I mean, hearing this one guy say, "Am I too black? Am I too gay for Star Wars?" Come on now. I mean, they had
Come
three
on,
PP.
what are you? What is
Was
this?
it 3 CPO?
2030?
I don't know. They had three C3PO in all those movies, so I think they're fine with gay. You know, black maybe. I don't know. I got too many black people in the world of Star Wars.
You know that one of the best selling Star Wars cards is this giant golden robot cock card.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
The guy, the bronze guy.
C3PO?
No, the guy with him. Oh, no.
R2D2?
C-3PO is the bronze guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never seen that card before? You don't know about that?
No.
Look it up.
I'm looking up these trading cards. I see the number one one is Luke Skywalker. Let's put this on screen.
No, not Star Wars. Just look up C-3PO card.
Well, here's these cards. This card, this Star Wars 1977 card is worth $55,000. Yeah, a graded 10.
Yeah, the population count is very low.
Ooh, look at the
You know
drop
about
off.
pop reports, right?
Yeah, look at the drop off here to Darth Vader, 8,000.
Well, it's because it's the printing presses are more advanced and stuff.
Well, this is fucking awesome. This card is from Wonder Bread. This is a Wonder Bread card. You had to buy the Wonder Bread to get this card. That's honestly like even cooler.
I was talking to Dave. He's got some serious Gretzky shit. Like
yeah.
Look at the Edmonton. Like if you have Gretzky Oilers stuff, that's worth
I don't get why they
money if you can authenticate it and
they have so much shit, both of them. That I would have fucking, especially Doug. I would have Doug. I wouldn't even told Dave, and I would have sold that shit. I think all of it. I remember them talking about it. All of it is like both of theirs. Like they actually don't own something individually. It's like for both of them.
That's what I did with my cousin.
That's why, like, if I was Doug, I'd be like, I'm gonna fucking sell that shit and not tell Dave what I made off.
Is like my aunt, like, kind of stepped in, was like a manipulative motherfucker. Set up all these like casings and cabinets and stuff for people that are never gonna see it, you know. And she kind of knew what the fuck I was doing ahead of time. Like I got some Kobe, Iverson, Ray Allen, Steve Nash, Stephon Marbury stuff, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Topps Chrome shit, and she's got it all locked up.
That sucks.
And I don't know how I'm gonna get access to that shit. But
here's a good example of grading. Look at this number 3 Skywalker, the same card but graded 9 is only worth about $8,000. So we're looking at like a $48,000 drop off from a PSA 10.
It's because of the population reports, you know.
Yeah.
Certain cards get circulated easily. The way they were made are advantageous to getting high grades, and some are so flawed. If you get a single one out of 1,000 to 100,000,
this one's crazy. It's also a Wonder Bread
this
card.
Is a new one. I have not seen. Yeah, I've not come across this one.
Yeah, this one's nuts because what he's holding is a sand.
What's Wonder Bread?
You know, like the bread. Like a thing. Like they used to have the bread, and you would have like how cereal.
Shit. So Wonder Bread.
Yeah, look at the Darth Vader one. It's
wow,
also Wonder Bread.
That's fucking awesome. And
no, I remember hearing like old nerds talk about this.
Grade stuff. The darker the borders, the worse chance you have for a higher grade because of chipping.
Yeah, and it fading.
Any single flaw will show up higher. There's a lot of very high end like LeBron stuff that's all white edges. and the population reports are astronomical. You know, like it's almost like it doesn't matter. You know.
Yeah. No, I remember hearing it was on Comic Book Men.
Did
They
you
were
ever
talking
get any
about
Wonder Bread shit at all?
no, this is like from the 70s,
Oh
dude.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
it would have to been like relatives, maybe.
Yeah,
who
I remember
left
hearing
the
about people on Comic Book Men. They were
Do you
older.
have any
They
family
said they would
members?
slip their
Do you have
hand.
any family members with Wonder Bread Star Wars
No,
cards?
no, but I
Me
mean, they would
either.
say on
Yeah.
that show they would slip their hand into the bread because they knew where it was. Like I think it was on like the side of the bread thing, so they would slip their hand into the bread at the supermarket and take the cards.
Well, like
So I'm sure there's
this is
tons of
like
people doing
something
that.
if you're at like a garage sale or friendly market and people don't realize what the fuck they have. If you find something like this, you go from like $5-10 to like 7 to 10,000. You know,
Yeah, no, we
If
don't
you
have
get
anything. We never had
graded
anything
well.
like this. We don't have any. We don't have
If
any
you
like
do
fun
wall
things.
itself well.
Like the 70s knew how to be fun. It's like they would have fucking cards and bread. Like what do we have? Fucking nothing. Adult Happy Meals. That's what we got. But also this photo, with him holding something from a Sand People thing, like this is not in the movie. This is obviously like an on-set photo
Just like a
of a scene that
promo.
didn't happen. This didn't happen. So that's also rare.
You know,
Like this is not
I've
on
seen
screen.
like from watching a lot of Michael Jordan sales. If you just get promo cards or short print releases, they sell for very well because they know the pop reports already. Oh, scroll back up. Scroll back up. That's the golden cock guy.
Oh, okay.
That's the
Oh,
card.
I see the golden cock. Yeah, yep.
You never saw
It's
that
one of the
card
most.
before?
I've never seen
I'm
this. It's
so
one of the most
surprised you
awkward.
never came in like any kind of interaction. But that's
You know what? I'll
huge
I'll
fucking
say
card.
this is
A
it
gem 10 on
sounds
that is very difficult.
this sounds familiar. Hearing about something like with a golden
Yeah,
cock, so I
you've
think
never
I've heard
seen the
about it.
giant cock C3PO?
I think I have, but it's okay. It's an error.
Do you have one?
There's an added golden rod in the car that wasn't supposed to be there. The cards were a car. That's why it's popular. It was recalled. It's making it a very scarce collectible. That's the point of it. This was added in here as a joke. Someone did that.
But you don't have a giant cock C3PO, right?
No, I have nothing with that.
Damn.
Nothing with that. There's another Wonder Bread card here of Grand Moff Tarkin. That one's kind of cool. I think these Wonder Bread ones are the coolest ones. Yeah. So I guess
Wonder
that
Bread
kind of
as in like the white bread
yeah, like this
Americana.
typical white bread shit.
Fuck, man. Could have just lucked into a bunch of shit without even trying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So my next thing here is what? Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion. You heard about this show? It's now becoming the worst rated show on Rotten Tomatoes for worst rated anything in MCU history. It's pretty fucking bad. It's
Why? What's so bad about it?
all I heard, like I kind of heard like all right, so there's these they're called scrolls or something, and they're basically like these aliens that can disguise themselves as humans and they have every single power. It's just like now everyone has every single power, so it's just like it's like overpowering something and kind of just like there's some rewriting of history. Here's the lowest rated MCU episodes. You got She-Hulk number 6. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of She-Hulk on here. Secret Invasion's on here a lot. Yeah, Secret Invasion's on here a lot. Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty bad. It's actually so bad that it's actually the last episode finale is at a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's one of the worst things I've ever seen. Granted, there's only 10 reviews, but of those 10 reviews, there's one person likes it. Solid fun. I
I've
should
seen
they
a
were
lot
paid off.
of Samuel L. Jackson with an eye patch on. What the fuck is that?
That's his character. He's like the main character. Well, I guess he's the main character. He's supposed to be the main character in the show, but I don't think he really is. It's the way that's like kind of the way of the woke world. I think the main character is what's her name from Amelia Clark. So they basically gave that Amelia Clark character all like she can have every single power possible because I guess they can take other powers. I don't
Okay.
every single thing I've heard about this sounds horrible.
Yeah, that looks weird. That photo.
Yeah, I mean here's
I don't want to ever see that again.
yeah, that's terrible. Here's a clip of I think one of the last scenes in the movie kind of showing or not movie but showing like her stupid powers on everything here. Just that this is a total Captain Marvel thing. Brie Larson, whatever that they're showing there.
Brie Olsen is much different.
But yeah, you see, like I don't know, it's just like retarded. I think it's funny because I think even I feel bad for the people that like this Marvel shit because it's really like ruining everything for them.
You
You
feel
know, like
bad
I
for
don't
them? I mean,
care.
they're like such empty-headed mouth breathers. They don't even know what's going on half the time. They watch.
I don't know. I think I mean, all right. Well, there's all right. There's some type of Marvel fans that were just movie fans, and I could see what you're saying that they're kind of empty-headed mouth breathers. But there are definitely a lot of people that like the old comics, and then I think that didn't really
Like
align.
who?
I mean, we're talking people that were probably grew up in the '90s, you know, like early '90s, maybe a
They're
little
all
older
dead.
than us. No, like a little older. No, they're not dead. But
We-
also they
We've,
made
we've tried
now.
to instrument enough population control where most of those assholes are gone by now. You know, we want them out.
Yeah, so now they made this guy, Don Cheadle's character, he's a scroll. So he's like an alien in disguise. So it also
He's
kind of
got
like,
some big bitch tits. He's
yeah, I
looking like
know.
a. He's looking trans.
He does. But yeah, he does.
Hold on.
Yeah, it looks
What's
like a
going on
Photoshop
here?
job.
Like Don Cheadle, leave him alone, man. No,
Now it
leave
looks
Don
like some
alone.
Photoshop job, but I don't think it is. But here's what's coming out now is that basically everything we know of that character was like a fake character. So you know, like when he like I think he becomes like paralyzed. That's all like bullshit
Yeah.
because these aliens don't they're like super powered, so that wouldn't make sense. So it's all just like getting rid of the stuff you knew. It's obviously just like what it sounds like is they just wanted a twist to this show and they didn't care that if they give a twist to this show that it kind of ruins all the stuff that these people know beforehand, which also like that's again I feel bad for these fans because then it's like everything you knew
No,
is now
don't
like
ever feel bad for fans because they're so
no, I do feel
pathetic.
bad for fans. This is the day and age we
No,
live in, man.
they're so stupid. Like, don't never feel bad for a fan. If you're a fan, your brain cells are working on like maybe 5-10% at best.
No, I do. I mean, I do feel bad for fans, man, because like I think they generally like something, and then I mean, also like this is like the people who actually like the Marvel stuff. They liked the Captain Marvel, they liked the Avengers, and then they give them, you know, the Marvels, you know, Brie Larson. They give them Black Panther. You know, like they're taking things that they liked and introducing all this stuff that was like feminism and other things and stuff that don't really jive for them. It's how I feel with Lord of the Rings. Like I'm a fan of the Lord of the Rings, and I do not like what they're doing with it. So it's like I feel bad for that. It makes me think of Lord of the Rings. But I mean, Marvel, I don't really give a shit either. So the director has commented and said, we don't really care about the reviews. We don't really care about the fans. I'm not surprised. I don't read reviews with all due respect. For
Did
me,
you see any Loki?
I've never seen any of the Loki series. I
No.
kind of started
When are
watching.
you working
See,
on season 3?
I'm really like not. No, they're working on season 2, but I'm really not even in.
No,
Like I'm
they're
a
when they're working on season 2, they're working on season 3. Come on.
probably. I'm not like
The
a.
Dynasty.
I'm definitely not a Marvel fan. I have not kept up with everything. I've only seen a few things. I did see She-Hulk.
Yeah, for the memes and
Well, it was
how
like a, you know,
weird
like a
and
hate
fucked up
watch.
and bad it is. It's a joke.
Here you go. This one you like. Sydney Sweeney is going to be in a Marvel movie. Are you
As who?
surprised? Madam Web? I don't know what the fuck this is. I don't understand it. This is, I guess,
Oh, she's gonna be in some fucking suit. I mean,
No, they're gonna
Why
put
this
Dakota
guy's face?
Johnson. Oh, Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney are gonna be in some Spider-Man spinoff.
Wow.
But that also that was on
Weird.
the article
Fucking
talking about things getting pushed, so that will be pushed.
I don't like Dakota Johnson. I'm not into her.
I don't really know much of her. I think I've seen her in the
She did that 50 Shades
Suspiria?
of Grey, or what the fuck it is, 30 Shades. I forget the percentage of gray.
I don't know the percent, but maybe 25% gray, which is pretty much white.
I mean, well, gray is not a skin color unless you're dying.
Well, it will be. Remember the South Park episode where all the races mix? Well, we will all be gray in the future. When all the
No.
races have mixed.
You have a clip for that?
I don't have a clip for that, but you don't remember that where all the races.
No, I have not been watching South Park.
This is
recently.
not new. This is very old.
That's what I'm saying. I need evidence.
Future Humans. I can't find it, but there you can look that up. The Future Humans, they're all like a gray
Nicolas
brown,
Cage
really ugly
was
color.
in the Flash movie?
Yeah, he had a Superman cameo that was like, remember how he was supposed to play Superman, so they put that in. That's like another little joke that they
The Tim
added into
Burton
the
one?
movie. Yeah, he was gonna be in it, so they had him. There's a part of the movie at the end where you see all these multiverses of like Supermans and other things, and you see him for like a minute. So he's in it, but it's like a minute, and it's obviously CG.
It's weird.
It's like
I feel like they
so
went from
CG.
milking just having superhero movies to milking just having multiverse superhero.
Yes.
movies.
Christopher Reeve is in the movie for like a split second too, like for like a
Really?
minute
After
as
he
well.
got
Nicolas Cage has a little
the waist
longer.
down from pulling off a horse.
Yeah, they have no, just they have like a CG Christopher Reeve that looks really weird to see, and then a CG Supergirl from also the '80s movie. So it's like him and her next to each other. It looked really weird.
It's nice.
Very strange.
That allows you to like realize whoever controls the state has no.
Here's the weird part. They didn't show Henry Cavill in the movie at all. And he did apparently film some scenes for them. And they didn't use them. It's kind of weird. So it's like you have a Nicolas Cage Superman, you have Christopher Reeve Superman, but you don't have Henry Cavill Superman. Who was kind of the Superman everyone knew before this. And you have Ben Affleck in the movie. You have Gal Gadot in the movie. It's weird. It's a very strange movie. It's also like the effects look so bad. And I know that like the director came out and said that was how it was supposed to look.
Pay attention to that much.
I mean, I paid attention to it. I thought it was very obvious that it's bad. Oh, here's
I know, but
one last.
You're not the average mouth breather paying a ticket.
Yeah, here's the last shot of Secret Invasion with Samuel Jackson kissing some weird alien thing. Is he gay now?
What do you mean he's gay now?
Why are
I
you
can't
gay?
tell if that's a woman or a man. You say that's
It looks
gay.
like, I can't tell either.
Yeah, like
I think there's only one clip for that. Let me play this clip because this is the only thing that'll connect to that. So let me play this because this is pretty accurate to this whole thing
In
here.
the studio this morning, one of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr? Sure. Pepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good
having
morning.
me. Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm
Why are you gay? That's a good accent there. So, speaking of actually good box office stuff, we got The Sound of Freedom, which has been tearing it up. It's doing really well. It's also hit the $100 million mark, and I think this movie was only made for like 11 million. So
Did
all
they
this,
bring up all the Galaxy Pizza stuff?
they don't bring that up. It's about like sex trafficking and
How not? How do
child
you not?
trafficking.
Like, how do you
Uh,
not?
I think it's more about like international sex trafficking and child trafficking. So I
Wow.
don't think it
So
would make
there's
sense.
that much to where you can pick and choose which type you want to go
Yeah,
into.
there's controversy to this movie too, though. I'm gonna even like on the far right end. So this movie's being funded by a what is it? It's a charity called the Underground Railroad Movement or something, and they're all about like anti-trafficking, very far right, very conservative. I think they're
Well,
actually
who's
all
pro-trafficking?
LDS Mormons, which is even creepier. But that whole group is a little bit suspect because all their board members are making like 300 grand a year. And it's like 5 of them, and they're all making like 300 grand a year. You almost wonder what the fuck they're doing with this money. And there's even been claims of them having like pedophilia within their organization. So it's all fucking crazy. But that's also the issue, is that this movie has been kind of railed against from Hollywood. Rolling Stone has like mocked it because they're trying to kind of relate this movie to like QAnon. Now I kind of heard it's just sort of like a pretty good movie that's kind of like a thriller about him trying to get out these child sex trafficked kids, and that's really just what it is. But because it kind of takes that far right conservative role, I think it's really pissed off Hollywood.
It feels sort of like that Michael Jackson documentary that came out.
Yeah,
It was
look,
all
I don't know.
weird and distorted.
I haven't seen it, so I can't tell you. But I know Jim Caviezel has said that Hollywood is scared about this movie. So they're quaking in their boots. They're scared about the truth. That's the thing, is like there is some truth to that. We're gonna talk about like underage shit. Hollywood's gonna come up in that story. You know, that's gonna happen.
Would you see that Mitch McConnell clip where he?
Yeah, where
like,
he's just like fucking freezes like a robot.
people said he had a seizure.
Probably did. I mean, the motherfucker's old. He's one of those people that like
Yeah, but I mean, like,
been there way too long.
you think about
Way
how
too
much
long.
control and power this motherfucker has, and he's barely functional.
Or he's a clone, man. Maybe he's a clone or a robot. Maybe it's all just robot
You
at this
think he's
point.
just a robot that's malfunctioned?
That's what a lot of people
Not
think.
a robot, a droid.
Or or extraterrestrial, man. With all this talk going on here. And no one gives a shit. No one cares at all.
I know, it's like I was thinking about seeing all that UFO releases. Like, it feels like it's happening and it's just a joke. Like, nobody takes it serious. Nobody really thinks about what this means. or
No,
what's
it's really funny
happened
too,
or
because
what's
they're
going to
talking
happen
about
at
like,
all, or the context of anything. It's just
yeah, and they're talking about
it's just
bodies.
like another opportunity to make fun of some shit and not really think about it critically at all.
And they're talking about bodies of actual beings and potentially live beings that were taken to facilities and maybe questioned and lived there, kind of like Paul from the movie Paul. There's a good chance there is, and even still, maybe there's a good chance that we actually harbor like alien species that are working with the government, which sounds crazy, but there's a chance of that.
I mean, I don't know about you, but like I feel like all the technology we have is from that, and it's just been, like slowly dispersed in different ways.
Well, there is a
And
chance of that because we
we
used to
feel
have
like- don't you feel like every single like technological advancement we have has been almost like tested among elites, and then it trickles down to like the average asshole eventually in like 5-10 years,
I mean, it could be. I mean, there's people that have said that that's true. Like, I don't know if you ever heard of Bob Lazar. He said all these things about what we have and what we're not being told.
just the
That's
way like
that-
marketing works. You have to like test it amongst a certain,
I I mean, I could be talking
like
out of my
fruit
ass here,
flies or
but
rats or pigs or whatever, and you like
well, I'm
dissect
just gonna
it,
talk like
and then
computers,
what we
electronics
get
type
is
thing.
like just the runoff once they
Yeah, but maybe not
figured
even
out
because
what they want to do with it.
we used to have all tube technology where it was these little glass tubes that would kind of control things and be like the power source. That was kind of how a lot of things were run. And then only like a little bit later, after like, talking 1947, after that Roswell crash, we're using a lot of circuits, which are like the motherboard circuits, which are soldered. It kind of feels like we might have even got that technology from somewhere else too.
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause
isn't
that's a
that what
big
ET
difference.
is kind of about?
Not, I mean, kind of. He does use circuit boards to make his thing. He does use like simple circuit boards. So yeah, maybe. But
Did you ever see
Bob
that clip
Lazar has
about
some interesting
how
claims.
Close Encounters, the relation of like just audio to scientific advancements have some correlation. You know, like I feel like aliens do operate off of almost like we get sonar, but like their version of sonar is so much more advanced and like they can see everything going on all the time. Almost like when they look at a map, they can just see like every single thing going on and just pick and choose like what to interact with, you know?
Yeah.
That's like just the bare minimum of what we have access to. You know, like we just get like glimpses of it from archaic almost probably technology to them. You know, like
Well,
shit they've used like 100 or 10,000 years ago, and we're still operating off of like it's like submarines. You know, like they probably don't. They see us in submarines and laugh at it like it's
yeah.
a joke. You know,
Well, here, check this out. This is
like
a
why are
good.
people still using submarines?
Oh well, I mean, they still have good spying tech. Like we can still use them to spy as the other countries. I actually knew a guy who worked in the Navy, and he said you'd be surprised at how like they're right outside. Like China and Russia have subs that are like right outside of the space that they're allowed to be in. Like, and then they test like the boundaries. They're like literally there all the time, like right outside. So
They're
it's like
just
it is used for spying purposes and like
they're just
tactical things. But here's
like
Bob Lazar.
when I used to play like Warcraft, I would have like little like items that would scout out entire area, but they're
Yeah, they're
invisible.
scouts. Yep.
And I'd have like a 30 to 50-yard radius of the map where this motherfucker's like freely walking around thinking I know what they're doing, and I'm watching every single thing that they do at all times.
Here's the
I know
Bob
how to
Lazar
counteract
story.
everything.
That Bob Lazar told the story in 1989, but a lot of the things and even the UFO videos we have are kind of ringing true with the stuff he actually talked about. So here's a little gist of it.
First heard your story decades ago. I told you last night we went out to dinner. I've seen pretty much every interview you've ever given. I've followed the story incredibly closely. But for people who don't know the story, let's give them the bullet points. You used to work at Area 51. And Area 51, you went like, huh?
Well, we want to be accurate.
Okay.
Area S4.
S4. Okay.
It's about 15 miles south of Area 51.
Okay.
But
you worked in how would you describe it?
I guess within the Area 51 compound, you can call that a subset of Area 51.
And you got that job. Before that, you were working.
Before that, I had worked at Los Alamos
National
Labs in New Mexico.
And you were involved in what kind of work?
Nuclear weapon development, physics. I mean, they do everything there.
So how do they approach you to say, hey, Bob, why don't you come on out to the Nevada desert?
Well, the way this went down was, at that time, it was 1982. I had put a jet engine in my Honda, and Los Alamos put it on the front page of the paper. It said, Los Alamos man, physicist at the lab, built this 200 mile an hour, Honda jet car that I drove to work every day. So I was known in Los Alamos, the guy with the weird car, and you could hear it from a mile away. Anyway, the day that came out on the front page of the paper was the day Edward Teller, the father of the hydrogen bomb, was giving a lecture down there at the lab. And we didn't have much going on that day in our group. And I asked if I could go down there. And I went down there early, and Ed Teller was outside leaning on a brick wall there and reading the front page of the paper. Now, this is a guy out of history. So I introduced myself. Hey, I'm the guy you're reading about there. And we talked for a little while, and it was cool. Fast forward to years later, I had moved out to Las Vegas and had, left Los Alamos and probably a couple times. And it was down at EG&G Special Projects, which was at McCarran Airport at that time out in Las Vegas.
And did they give you any sort of job description, what you were applying for?
They said it was for I can't remember exactly what they did. This was a long time ago, but I think it was advanced propulsion or something like that. Something relatively generic. And they said it's in a remote area. And it'd be some days on, some days off. And, it was kind of it really wasn't weird because people that work at the test site, anybody that's familiar with the area up there, working at the nuclear test site or at the Tonopah test range north of there, that's typically how things go.
So you had known about it from the scientific community? Because the Area 51 at that time was
no, they didn't say anything about Area
classified.
51.
Okay, so
they just said it was in a remote location, and you just know it was up at the test site.
Right.
So, but there was no mention of Area 51 at that time.
So they've done hundreds of nuclear tests in Nevada. That whole area there's giant chunks of Nevada that people.
Yeah, there's a big piece of Nevada, and it's split up into different areas. There's a nuclear test site. There's Area 51. There's the Tonopah test range north of that. There's little sub areas. There's areas where they test chemical weapons and things like that. So it's all broken up as a gigantic test area.
So take me back to first day on the job. You accept a job. They take you out there.
Yeah. It's the first day, really, I didn't really get to see a whole lot. The first day was essentially just paperwork. That's when I flew into Area 51 proper. And I left McCarran Airport and flew what they call the Janet flights. Just, a passenger plane from Las Vegas to Area 51. And it was really just going through a mountain of paperwork that day, from security clearances to, it was like 2 or 3 hours of just solid paperwork. And that was really an uneventful first day.
Oh, it doesn't get into a lot of claims here, but check out Bob Lazar. You've never seen that story, huh? Because it is a good story. It's one of the best UFO stories that are there. And it goes back to 1989. And he had to, his whole job was to reverse engineer a UFO. That's essentially what they were kind of trying to find out what it was. And apparently the UFO that they found was like ancient. Like they found a crashed UFO that could have been thousands of years old, like in, I don't know, let's just say like a tar pit or something. And they found some crashed UFO, and I think it was still functional. And that's sort of what they went off of. Or, it could have been something crashed and there was body retrieval. All
Independence Day?
Well, all right. So the character in Independence Day, Data from Star Trek, he plays him. He's got long hair and a beard and glasses.
Yeah, he gets strangled.
Tentacle. That guy is based on Bob Lazar. So there is something to that right there. And even,
so
we're going to go
old though. Like that goes.
We're going to talk about movies. Again, we're going to talk about UFO stuff. Let's go back to Close Encounters. Close Encounters has a French guy who is based off of a UFO researcher. You know what I'm talking about in that movie? The French guy who's
these like weird off whistleblowers get iconized through different parts indirectly.
Yeah. Well, especially Jacques Vallée, who was kind of the French guy in that movie. That is essentially him. He actually is in the movie too. I think he's one of the people interacting with the aliens once they come off the ship. He has a little cameo there.
It's so weird that
No, I think Spielberg was like deeply into the subject at the time of making it, which is at least it's cool because you're really doing your shit. You know, you're doing your research. But
yeah, but like the context clues and hints and stuff he implanted, I don't know how much of it really hits. You know,
yeah, I mean, I
there's
think a
like
lot
a
of it
very small
kind of
percentage of people
does.
who are going to think about it that critically and do the research to find out the connections and stuff.
Yeah,
Like you like when I think of his movies, I just think of him just being good for like a general audience without any real connections to anything, you know.
yeah. But I don't know. I think he really did do his research. You know, here is a trailer of a new. I actually have to watch this. I've actually only heard good things about this. I kind of want Dave to watch it too, so we could talk about this one. But check out this trailer. I've heard this guy James Fox is one of the best UFO documentarians.
In 1996, the people of Virginia, Brazil, witnessed a UFO event that would change their lives forever.
Só que ele planava, ia perdendo lentamente a altitude e ia caminhando.
Call it another Roswell, if you will. It is a crashed vehicle that had beings on board.
Mas que eles não poderiam admitir a verdade, a população ia entrar em colapso.
Nada temos a esconder. Finally, the facts will be revealed.
The Virginia case is considered the most well-kept secret in the military circles of Brazil.
My objective here is to put some clarity on what took place in Varginha, Brazil, January 1996.
2 seres extraterrestres foram capturados, depois posteriormente foram levados para o hospital.
The witnesses are some of the most compelling testimony I've ever heard.
Meu nome é Carlos de Souza.
Meu nome é Cátia Xavier. Meu nome é Liliane Silva. Meu nome é Valquíria Silva. Em 1996, eu vi uma criatura estranha ali.
Action! A lot of people in this town have a little piece of the puzzle.
Naquele local, eu vi o rastro da criatura, o pé.
Foi onde ele falou que eu vi era uma coisa sobrenatural.
This year,
Mark Elixerez, he had captured this creature with his bare hands.
você confirma que o seu irmão estava de serviço naquele dia 20?
Confirmo.
After he captured the creature, he developed this infection that wouldn't go away.
Foi pro CTI de manhã, 7 horas da manhã, 15 para o meio-dia, ele veio a óbito.
This can no longer be covered up.
They might shoot us because we're on the property.
This can't be denied.
Bateram na porta. E aí eles falaram para mim.
Ficar quieto. Se qualquer um iria sofrer uma punição muito severa.
This was proof
We pull this off. It'll be the most compelling testimony revealed.
of contact.
Aqui, ó. Foi aqui.
This is a level of confirmation that only a handful of people on this planet have.
So this is a crazy story about this guy. He was military. He apparently takes one of these creatures out of the craft that's like dying, you know, like get it some medical help. And then hours later, this is all documented too. It's all real. He gets an infection, and then he hours later after that dies. And that whole situation of him getting the infection and then dying is all documented proof in the ICU. That's like a crazy, you know, you kind of can't deny that fact. Something weird is there. And that's very realistic with, you know, even us, like, you know, when he went to the New World and handed off diseases to the native population. It's a very realistic scenario. It's weird. But I've only heard good things about this filmmaker, James Fox. But back to the Sound of Freedom. We all want to go back there. They're going international. They're going to start to do box office in other countries, and they've done really fucking well. I mean, they've beat out The Flash. This movie, this little like a $10 million budget movie, has beat out The Flash, and going to beat out Indiana Jones, which is a $300 million movie.
Good.
No, I'm very happy to see this. I don't even give a shit if it has any, controversy to it. That's what you want to see. Oh, it was
Just it needs the competition, you know.
yeah. It's already 14 million over The Flash. That's really good. I mean, look at, and this hasn't even hit anywhere globally, which that this is going to make some money globally. It's going to make more. Because I think the story is relevant. I think a lot of people are, like this child trafficking thing is a big relevant story. I think it gets a lot of people behind it. But it's already made 136 million, and that's just domestically. And then you can almost look here, because I think this is what it's gonna do. Look at Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is already at 163, so it's not far off from Indiana Jones. And then their box office is just a little bit more internationally. So I think you're gonna look at the same thing for Sound of Freedom, for a movie that's only fucking, 10, $13 million movie that's gonna make over 350 million. That's crazy. Whereas Indiana Jones here is only at 338 million, and we know that the budget for this movie was 300 million, and then marketing is probably another 200 million. So you're looking at like a $500 million movie that's just not going to make any money back. And this was a fucking terrible movie, and it shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny too, because the Crystal Skull is definitely a better movie. This movie is fucking insane.
Is that really saying much?
Well, Crystal Skull, actually, the beginning of the movie is pretty good. Like, the first half of the movie is actually, like, decent, and then it goes off crazy. This movie has, like, some stuff that's so far out there that it's actually kind of cool. It's just spoilers here. He goes back in time, and he's during a time when the Romans are invading the Greeks, and there's this Roman-Greek battle, and then they show up in an airplane. And that part was just so over the top that it was kind of interesting, but also sort of stupid too at the same time. But that was probably the best part of the movie. And it does have a good villain. Like, he is a good actor, that Mads Mikkelsen, I think his name is. I think he is good. And the director's good. But this movie feels like the director was like being told, make a Steven Spielberg movie. Don't make your movie. Make a Spielberg movie. And I don't think that's such a good idea. Yeah, James Mangold here. Spielberg produced it. It will be shitty. It'll be a shitty release in digital. It'll be a shitty release on Blu-ray. Will not do good. Yeah, that's about everything I got set up here. What do you got over there?
I got the most anticipated movies. Go back.
What was that? Oh, the most anticipated movies. We could talk about that. That's a good idea. Let me just get a little banner thing here. I don't know if they're, to me. Are you going to be anticipating these movies? I don't know if you are. I don't think I will be. The only thing I'm anticipating is
I don't
Dune.
even know what anticipation is. Like, I just let stuff flow over me like a wave.
I mean, that's what I'm telling you right now. The only thing worth watching now is Dune. The Meg 2 is on this list as most anticipated movies. I heard he's in I don't know, but I heard it's Station Statham with a samurai sword surfing or something. I heard that's in the movie. Like,
versus a giant prehistoric shark.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, I feel like we're reaching Sharknado level stuff.
Yeah, I think we kind of are. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the new movie that will come out, I think next week. Yeah, I mean,
who plays the white news reporter?
It's a black character now. It's a fat black lesbian character now. And I'm not joking.
You're not joking.
I'm not joking. That's like legitimately serious. She's a lesbian. She's
Who
kind of
produced
fatter, and she's black.
Who
And
created
it's
this?
animated.
What is this?
This is owned by, I think Nickelodeon owns the rights now, but Paramount is putting it out.
And who's playing the part?
But being produced by Seth Rogen and his heterosexual love partner Evan Goldberg.
Yeah, they're a couple.
Yeah, I mean,
They're
I
like
mean,
a much
I think he
shittier
does
version
has
of Spielberg,
Evan Goldberg on it.
George Clinton. Or,
I will say this,
not George Clinton. George Lucas.
dude, the best movie outside of the original movies, which was just those first two movies, is it's TMNT. It was released in 2007. It's animated. It actually is really good. So if you want to actually watch a good animated,
Doesn't the guy who plays the cook in American Summer, who fucks the can?
yes,
Isn't that guy in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff?
what?
From
How do
Law
you
and
mean?
Order?
Chris Maloney?
Yeah, isn't he in? He's the skater guy, isn't he?
No, Casey Jones? No, it's not. He looks like him. No, that's definitely not him.
Really?
No,
Wow,
it's definitely not him.
I fucking Mandela affected that shit.
No, totally different person. I think his name is
Who's that guy?
Elias Koteas.
Elias
search that.
Copius. Sounds like a made up virus.
Elias, yeah, it does. He's actually in Chicago PD, so he's in a competing show.
The fuck?
Yeah, search Elias Koteas.
Man, I got Mandela. I just got Mandela.
Sounds
hard. I got
motherfucking
one, like,
Greek as hell.
from,
Greek as hell.
Did you ever have
Motherfucking Greek.
Do you have a deja vu to the point where you feel like nauseous afterwards or like sick? I don't know.
No.
I had it like a couple days ago where it was like so vivid and weird that I like got disoriented when I woke up. Or not woke up, when I stepped up from my desk. I was like very confused and freaked out, even though like nothing was different at all, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. You've never had deja vu to the point of like
Being
having
sick?
physical,
No.
like a physical influence in your body?
Not yet. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll come. Like Doug was talking. Or what is it we're talking about?
Oh, I
Cum.
had it to
I
the
never
point
had a
where,
cum dream.
I like looked around the whole room, was like I felt like just so confused. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's the aliens. What do you think about that alien trailer right there? That UFO documentary. Seems compelling,
It
right?
makes me think of do you remember when you said you saw like a giant inflatable spaceship outside of Millstone?
Well, I don't think it was. I don't know
Do you
what it
think
was.
that was like a fake?
I saw a gigantic ship.
Do you think
I
that
mean,
was like
I've had a
fake,
UFO encounter.
blow up inflatable spaceship, almost like when in World War II they would blow up tanks? You know, like maybe it was like you happen to live in like a test area for government experiments and stuff.
I
you
mean,
know?
I don't know what I saw. I really, truly do not.
I mean, I believed it. Like what you said sounds so vivid and real, and we're out in the middle of nowhere. You know that that's the perfect spot to try and test. And
do you want to see my my account here? I have it's actually on the internet. I can share this right now. Let me
okay.
We'll get back to the most anticipated movies here, but here is my story. I had to find it on the Wayback Machine. Gigantic object with 4 lights reported over, which, by the way, this guy got it wrong. It was only 3 lights. Well, it had one little light. Here's my story here. It was 12. This was on June 22nd, 2011. So we're not far off timing wise, but about 12 years ago, something like that. Yeah, this is all accurate. So it's all on here. If you wanted to check out search gigantic object with 4 lights, East Windsor, New Jersey. It wasn't in East Windsor, but it was close to there. I talked to this guy, Roger
I mean,
Marsh.
I just remember the way you're talking about. Like, I fully believe that he's
Oh
gone.
no, like I've like
It's just
you know, I'm
pretending
not
you're
like
doing
a
stuff
I'm not
is
like a
like
bullshitter. I have no reason to make up a like I honestly thought when I saw this thing that I would
like
go
when
on
you
to the
said it, like
news
the
and
the
hear
like
about something
cadence in
stupid.
your voice and shit. I it felt like you almost like got fucked up from it. You know what I mean? Like it was
Oh, it's something I'll always
really
remember.
weird.
Yeah, I'll never forget that thing. I'll never forget that fucking thing. It was also like because and I think about it all the time because I see planes fly over this area, and you know, like they look super small. Like I'm talking like super small. They look, you know,
Well,
like
think
just
about it. You
relatively
know, like
small. This is like
Millstone, and
fucking
especially where
gigantic.
you're at, is in the middle of farmland. And when you
Yeah.
think of alien stuff, that's where they kind of work in. You know, like those mass.
Yeah.
just
Well, I don't
nodes
know
of
what it was. I don't know if it was aliens.
uninhabited
I don't know if it was.
space.
I don't know if it was government or military, but I've also heard recently
Dude,
that
we
a
could.
lot of this
I feel like we
aerospace
could
stuff,
easily had crop circles in
yeah,
Millstone. You know, like it's
we
that.
wouldn't have known. I feel like a lot of this aerospace stuff too, and I've heard it through the conspiracy circuits, is that it's actually being done by rich private companies. That like, let's just say you're a fucking crazy rich guy and you pair up with some other rich guy. You're trying to make your own anti-gravity vessels, and they're actually like having government clearance and all that shit. I believe that more than anything else. Because that's what black ops are, where it's off the books. That's off the books. You know, like you might be funding things through the government, but it's off the books. And we have a lot of money that's being like you can look that up. There are black operations budgets that we don't know what the fuck it's going to. That exists. But anticipate we got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. We got the Mission Impossible 2 movie. Here's Gran Turismo. I actually am looking forward to this. I might see
You
this.
play that all?
I remember playing it like in like the movie theater, probably like at the little arcade. You know, it was always
You gotta
good.
say, when we went to that Big Bar place, I was surprised how bad I was at every single game I fucking played.
Yeah, but that was a cool bar. But yeah, I agree. I was really bad at everything.
I thought it would
But
have
you didn't
been.
have time to like. I don't know. I feel like you kind of like, especially like that band playing. I felt rushed. I like felt like rushed to even do anything because there's some fucking asshole playing shitty music on stage. I don't know.
No, it's hard to concentrate, but I remember playing that Area 51 game a ton in Freehold, just at the movie theater. Like that was one of that and what was that game with the pedal? You could like hide
Yeah.
and come back and hide and come back.
Oh, I forget that, but I know what you're talking. I was actually doing better with the Terminator game. The Terminator 1 game was similar to Area 51. I was doing better with that.
With 2 Uzis?
Yeah, remember like that gun that just it's like a machine gun that you just like hold down the thing and it just fires.
And you don't have to reload.
No, you don't reload at all. You just like hold it down. I was actually doing better at that. Oh, I saw a trailer for Blue Beetle. It looked really bad. This movie looks just like awful. This will not do good.
Blue Beetle?
Yeah. The Last Voyage of the this is like a Dracula movie.
I don't know
Where
what
it's like
that
a
is.
Dracula. This is like a Dracula on a boat. I don't know.
Oh shit! I just saw a trailer for that. Actually, yeah.
Actually, doesn't look
They
like
find
terrible.
some, like dead animal.
Yeah, the only thing I like about it is that it's very. I like a story that's condensed to like a small area. I like that idea. Ugh. Snow White is anticipated. We'll see. Triam. I don't know what the fuck this is. Retribution, which is a geezer teaser here. You got this is a geezer teaser, man. You got Nimrod.
What's a geezer teaser? I've never heard that term before.
Oh, you never heard the geezer teaser term?
No.
It's like when they get an older actor like kind of be in a movie that's probably terrible, but the only reason you're gonna see it is because there's like Bruce Willis or Liam Neeson in it.
Tom Cruise. We should do
Yeah, I mean Bruce Willis is a good part of that.
that feels adjacent to the boner comedy stuff. We should do like a geezer.
Well, Red Letter Media kind of covered this one pretty. I get this
Whatever.
term
They
from
didn't.
Red
They
Letter
didn't do
Media.
enough. They need
You can
Do
search.
Do you think if we show them our stuff that they would ever do a collaborate?
No, I don't know. There's actually like famous people, like YouTubers that I've seen that are pretty big, and they've tried to reach out to Red Letter Media. And I don't think they care about anyone. I mean, I give them credit. They
Yeah,
don't
have
give
you
a
ever
shit.
seen them
like they don't
highlight
care
a very
about getting more famous. They don't
low-
care at all.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, have you ever seen them do collaboration stuff with like a low followed
No.
account? Just 'cause
The
they
only
like
thing
it?
they've done was had famous people on, like Jack Quaid and Macaulay Culkin. That's the only really collaboration I could think of with them. Was that, and that's not really like a collab. That's just like a guest. And I mean, they had Patton Oswalt and Tim Heidecker on before too. But
Yeah,
this
they
just
should-
goes back a little
I
bit.
mean, I feel like they should just use their platform to highlight and collaborate with like lower followed accounts, just because I like them. You know,
I don't think they care. I like I can. I
They
mean, and I
should,
think
you
that's
know?
kind of
Like, they fucking
cool.
should. They should try
But
and like
they don't give a shit.
They should try and like contribute and like bring attention to lower attention stuff that's good that doesn't get
Yeah, it would be
enough
nice.
attention. Like they have enough of a platform. I feel like it kind of pisses me off that they don't do that.
No, they
They
really
should.
should. You know what? Like they should. I don't think they have any. That's the thing. Is like I don't think they have any care for the YouTube community. But yeah, it would be nice if they kind of
Yeah,
been
they're
like,
ungrateful
who's the
fucking
next people
boomers,
we could
man.
talk to?
They should
I don't think
really-
they give a shit about that.
They should understand like a lot of what they're fucking getting is from generations of people not even close to them. Like they really should be acknowledging accounts and stuff that reference them that don't need to, like they
Yeah.
don't deserve it in a way. Like they should really do more.
They
And
should.
I don't know.
Now this
is
next
a lot
movie,
of self-servicing bullshit, like just
yeah, this next movie is a baseball movie from Dennis Quaid is going to be the main character, and it's a real life story of a baseball player called Ricky Hill who overcame a physical handicap to be a baseball player. Do you know about this guy? Is this real? You ever heard about this?
hold on. Dennis Quaid
Ricky
already
Hill.
did this fucking movie.
Yeah, I thought so too.
He already
I
played a
thought so,
baseball
too.
player who was all fucked up, and he was a teacher.
Wait. Colin, there's gonna be a young kid who does. All right, he's gonna be like the mentor. He's the dad in this movie, but he's being billed first.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
I feel like I know what you're talking about. I feel like I could.
Dennis
It's like
Quaid played a pitcher who was a science teacher who came out of retirement to pitch for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Isn't it called The Rookie? Is it The Rookie? And he's like older, and he gets into the baseball league or
Yeah,
whatever.
this is fucking weird.
I mean, I guess he
very
knows his
nip-
market. Knows the market. Bad City. I have no clue what the fuck this is. It looks Japanese, so I probably won't see that. The creator sounds interesting. Gareth Edwards, who I think did Rogue One, but it says post-apocalyptics and AI action thriller. So let me look into this.
Okay.
Could be good. It's got what's his name? John David Washington, who is the son of what's his name? He's
Thomas Jefferson,
Denzel Washington's son, who's gonna be in it.
his second son.
Yeah, I mean, this actually looks cool. It's like a sci-fi movie about
So Denzel's got two sons.
No, he's got one.
Oh, this motherfucker from Black Klansman.
That's him. Yeah. Here's the trailer for this because this actually looks kind of interesting. So let's check out this trailer.
What's heaven?
It's a peaceful place in the sky.
Are you going to heaven?
Oh no, we're gonna get flagged.
No.
Why not?
Aerosmith's gonna come after us.
You gotta be a good person to go to heaven.
10 years ago today, the artificial intelligence created to protect us detonated a nuclear warhead in Los Angeles. For as long as AI is a threat, we will never stop hunting them. This is a fight for our very existence.
Whatever's in there, they're sure worried about someone getting in.
I'm gonna stop that there because I don't want that Dream On fucking getting us flagged there. Dream on. Dream on. That's pretty accurate, right? I gotta talk to Alicia Silverstone. Or no, well, she probably fucked him. But Liv Tyler. I'm sure she seemed like she had sex with her dad. The Equalizer 3. Okay. Isn't that who the fuck does the Equalizer? Is that Jason Statham as well? Who's the Equalizer?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Oh, Denzel Washington will also okay. So his son and then him are gonna be
Man,
the main. They're gonna
Denzel
compete him.
Washington's on some like fucking tirade right now. His whole family's fucking just
Napoleon
going on.
on this list, and then Dune. I mean, dude, Dune Part 2 should be like way up on this list. I feel like
Well, hold
Dune's
on.
not getting the
I
credit.
remember you
it
saying
deserves.
like this
Should be
Napoleon
number
shit,
one.
He's not even trying to act with the French accent at all.
No, you should watch the trailer. Just like him talking regular. I was like, what the fuck? Like that's very awkward.
How's
I
he
think
gonna
I'd
get away
rather
with
have.
that? I mean,
I don't even get it. It's like I think I would rather have maybe just as a moviegoer, I'd rather have someone who's speaking French and then just have subtitles. Like I'd probably rather have that, but no, it's just
I know
Joaquin
it's
Phoenix
like
talking with an American accent.
how can it be like so blatantly not giving a shit about bothering?
Well, I mean, you go to a play and people do the same kind of thing. Like go watch Les Mis and they're all people talking regular English and they're supposed to be French. So I guess I get it, but yeah, kind of weird.
I'm surprised it's Ridley Scott. I thought it would be Sofia Coppola doing that.
Oh yeah. Actually, I was thinking about this. I wonder how Oppenheimer is doing in Japan. You think it's doing good in Japan?
Are you gonna see
Is
that
it
shit?
bombing? Well, I saw some of it. I saw enough. Like a person, I guess I saw enough.
You should have strapped on some, like surveillance equipment and did a Barbenheimer live action review in theater.
Well, you know what? It's interesting. I don't think it was released in Japan. I'm looking at all their releases and their box office per territory, and I'm not seeing a Japanese release. Maybe they were like, that's too close to home. Yeah, I'm not seeing any. I think they just did not release this in Japan. That's weird.
Why?
That's even weirder.
Yeah,
I guess it was, they dropped the bomb in Japan. So
I know, but still
kind of weird.
Like you'll get a big market from the connection to it.
Yeah, I'm looking
Whether
at
you like it
the
or not,
letters here.
I want it.
Yeah, there's nothing there. It's really weird. Doing good in France and Germany and India, but not anywhere else. Let me see where the best it's doing. Probably the UK. Oh yeah, the UK is doing really good. Oppenheimer is doing pretty good. Makes sense because they hate the Japanese too. Dune Part 2 should be higher on this list. This should be number 1. This is the most look for. This should be what you're looking forward to.
It's called Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
There's no like Fellowship of the fucking Rings or something mixed in.
No, because it's actually supposed
It's
to
just
be.
that cut and dry. Just Dune.
Yeah,
Part 2.
actually, speaking of that, we're gonna have a Lord of the Rings movie next.
I kind of like
The
that.
next thing on the list is Lord of the Rings: The War of the Rohirrim, which is gonna be written by I think her name is Philippa Boyega or something like that. Let me see.
Who's that?
There is a person who's writing this movie that worked on the original, like the trilogy we all love, and she's writing the movie. I think she's actually Peter Jackson's like girlfriend that he doesn't want to marry. You know, like he's with her forever, but doesn't actually want to marry her.
Like a bastard woman.
Yeah, Miranda Otto, who was Eowyn in the trilogy we all know, will be reprising her voice acting in this movie.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be good. It's gonna get released in HBO, I know, and this is actually probably the only thing.
She was in a ton of shit.
Yeah. Oh
Whoever
yeah.
her agent is going crazy right now.
I heard you see her tits in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, no, she's got several nude scenes.
But I think you could see her
they're
tits.
They're nothing.
Yeah, they're nothing
great.
special. There's like some fashion type stuff she wears where you could see her see through
Her
tits in
face
there.
is good. She's
Not
very
good.
cute.
Yeah, she's good. I like Florence Pugh. I think she's a good actress. I like her. I get it. I get her casting of everything. I like Rebecca Ferguson way better. I'll give her that more.
I mean, those are like
No, but just even her
triple
acting
Gs.
and face, she's great.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Mission Impossible.
No, I'm talking about Doctor Strange or Doctor not Doctor Strange,
Wait,
Doctor
Rebecca
Doctor
Ferguson's in
Sleep.
Oppenheimer?
Was that? No, she's in
Rebecca
Dune.
Ferguson's in Oppenheimer?
No, she's in Mission Impossible. She's in Dune. She's in Doctor Sleep.
Oh.
I'm talking. She looks really good in Doctor Sleep. That's a standout
Yeah,
role
that
for
came
her.
out like 10 years ago. So
Yeah, now Saw X, the 10th Saw. I've never seen one of these, and I don't think I'll ever see one of these. Not my thing.
they're for they know their market.
Yeah,
They just pump those motherfuckers out like nothing.
Craven. I guess this is anticipated.
Horrible trailer.
Now, this is the Exorcist new movie by David Gordon Green, who's fresh off of ruining Halloween. He's moving on to ruining another series.
But I thought David Gordon Green was
He is good, man. He's good with, but you know what? I think he's good with comedy. All his regular stuff has not been good.
well maybe
He's very good with
I
comedy.
don't know, maybe the second go around he figures it out.
I mean,
I don't
the funny thing you
know.
say that is I will probably go watch this just because of that. Like, I will give him a chance, but
This feels
we'll
like
see.
Exodus, what, 30? Believer? Like, what the fuck is this even?
No, there's not been that
What
many
is
of
this?
them.
This feels like some
There's not
straight
been
to
that
video
many.
type of shit.
No, it's
Why is he
rebooting the
himself into these
franchise.
type of things?
It's rebooting the franchise, but there's really only been of the originals.
Like,
There's been
I don't know why he's sucking off these like dead franchises instead of just continuing to make original content, which is great at.
well, of the original, there's been 3. And then there was a prequel movie. There's been 2 of those prequels that are like horrible. And then there's going to be at least 3 David Gordon Green movies. He's doing 3 with David Gordon Green and Dan McBride writing as well, which that didn't work out so well for Halloween, but we'll see. Halloween series sucked. Like, that was fucking bad. Like, there's no denying that was bad. And even I would say like the Rob Zombie movies he did were better. And
Is
that's
it
it's
worse
like
than the
sad to
Busta
say.
Rhymes one?
Was that?
Is it worse than the Busta Rhymes one?
That's you're talking about Leprechaun.
No, Busta Rhymes is in Halloween.
Oh, H2O2.
Oh shit! Never mind.
Yeah, you're right.
I confused Halloween with
H2O2. No.
Exorcist.
Isn't it Busta Rhymes? H2O2?
Yeah, with LL
Or is that
Cool
Ice
J
Cube?
and
Are you
Tyra
sure it's not
Banks.
Ice Cube?
They're all in it. Like they all might have been in it.
Haunting in
It's a
Venice.
weird ensemble cast.
I've never heard of this, but Kenneth Branagh. I kind of think he's pretty good. I kind of think he's. I know he's an actor. He's in Harry Potter as Gilderoy Lockhart. He's like the. I forget. He's kind of.
You said that part. You said that part like I'd know it immediately.
Hmm.
Did you read that off of something, or that was from memory?
No, it's from memory. He is the Gilderoy Lockhart was kind of like this teacher who's like really full of himself. He's got blonde hair. It's in the Chamber of Secrets. I don't know if you remember that role. He tries to like act
I
like
do.
he's
Yeah, he's like some Bradley Cooper type lookalike thing, but
yeah,
much
but kind of
older.
older and wasn't really super
Much
attractive.
older.
Like I don't think he really fit the role that much.
He's got
But
Kennergy.
yeah, he's gonna be in this, The Haunting in Venice. I don't know what the fuck this is. Maybe that'll be good. It's a post-war film. Okay. Walt Disney's making it, so that might not work out. We've seen
Well, Walt
how
Disney
they
hasn't
do.
done much since 2000.
Yeah,
800.
definitely not. Till Death Do Us Part. Okay. Hmm.
It's weird to see a Timothy not named Chalamet.
Yeah, you want a Timothy Chalamet. That's weird. Challengers, which will be by Luca Guadagnino, who's the guy who did the new Suspiria, which I like the new Suspiria. That's one of the better remakes. It's a very weird movie. I like Luca Guadagnino.
I only saw parts of it, but it was pretty fucked up.
Yeah, so far I would say
the
I like
body
him as a
got like
filmmaker.
completely bent and all inverted to where they're like a pile of bones and flesh. It was fucked up. This guy's a fucked up piece of
Yeah,
shit.
and I also know he's a big
He should not
what
be
is it?
getting. He should not
Tarantino's
be
a big
getting
fan of him. So I
to
know that's a
direct
big plus.
big films. This guy.
You got Zendaya in this though, so this will
Oh
be
wow! Really?
Here's another thing. This is
Wait,
Killers of the
what's
Flower
the plot
Moon.
of this shit?
It is going to be about Tasha, a tennis player turned coach, has taken her husband, Art, and transformed him from a mediocre player into a world famous Grand Slam champion. To jolt him out of his recent losing streak, she'll make him play a challenger event, close to the lowest level of the tournament on the Pro Tour, where he finds himself standing across the net from the once promising, now burnt out Patrick, his former best friend and Tasha's former boyfriend. This sounds like a terrible drama. I don't know.
Like really some heavy tennis shit.
Tensions run high on and off the court as
This
old
guy went
flames are
from
reunited.
making that Suspiria reboot to this tennis movie.
Yeah, this it's funny because
With
I
nothing in
thought of
between?
I thought of this director as more of like kind of like a weirdo hard director, and this sounds like super regular, super romantic drama crap. 23 Killers of the Flower Moon. This also should be up there. I'm actually more looking forward to this than most of these films. I think Dune should be 1. This should be 2.
I don't know. Don't you feel like he's pandering for the new rules?
Totally pandering, but it's still Scorsese. It's still Leo. Greatest actor of our
When we do
times.
the Oscar betting, this will be up there.
I think
Very
honestly, right
high.
now, you can if you want to put a bet down on this movie to win everything, this is probably a good choice. Like you're
Well,
gonna
do you
you're gonna
think
make
the
some
Oscar
money
would
on
be
that.
better now than before a bunch of Oscar bait shit gets released to compete with it?
Yeah, definitely. This is the
Maybe we
time to
should go
fucking
early
bet,
now
man.
and have good
This is the
odds.
time to bet. I'm telling you right now. You got a plus
On what?
right
On
now.
what platform or so, like DraftKings?
Yeah, I'd say DraftKings. Go for
Where you get
DraftKings.
your odds from?
I'm
Caesars?
getting my odds from DraftKings, but I don't really know where to see their odds right now. I don't know if they have it out yet.
Caesars, DraftKings,
I don't know if
FanDuel.
Caesars is the thing. Caesars, I don't know about that.
A lot of these casinos have sports betting books.
Yeah, they do, but I don't know if you can do it now.
Yeah, once they
Oppenheimer
open,
is
you can do it.
emerging at the box office for winning
You
some
never
things.
heard
I'm seeing
about
that.
like these rich motherfuckers paying like just assholes to stand near stuff in casinos and get in bets with them? They're almost I think wearing like wires to where they can tell them what to do before
No, I haven't heard that.
lines change.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, I mean they know there's only a window of a certain amount of time to get the bet in before um the line move. So you really have to have like some fat, white guy playing slots all day who's like 30 seconds away from walking to the window and putting a bet in for a ton of money. They're stooges.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the odds right now for Killing of a Flower Moon on the FanDuel. Jesus Christ. I know I saw this. Drive me nuts. Well, I know you can look this up. You can find it. There are bets right now. I think I think it's like a plus 200. So it's still like a likely winner. But I'm sure Oppenheimer has moved up the ranks. Harold and the Purple Crayon. Isn't that a fucking kids
That's
movie?
a kids movie.
Yeah, I feel like it was a kid's book or something. I don't know. The Ghostbusters sequel. We all know this is being pushed back by Jason Reitman. He's the son of the dead director from the dead writer who made Ghostbusters.
Hal Ramis.
Yeah, Howard Ramis. Rolling his grave, man.
But I thought he co-wrote it with Dan Aykroyd.
No. Well, you know what? You might be right. I mean, I know Dan Aykroyd was involved. Dan Aykroyd also has a dad who was super into the paranormal. That's why Dan Aykroyd's
Did you
really into
meet
the
him
paranormal.
and you got some
Yeah, I did.
Purple Skull vodka?
I have a Crystal Skull vodka signed by Dan Aykroyd. And I actually also have a Ghostbusters DVD signed. I'm looking at it right now. Ghostbusters DVD signed by him. And he was cool. He signed the front cover, he signed the inside cover, he signed the CD. Like he signed it like 5 times. Like I'll have to say, like usually they'll sign it once and just hand it to you. He like literally went through the whole fucking DVD and signed it. I guess he was like proud of it. But yeah, I have a signed DVD. I'm looking at it right now. That's something I'll probably never sell. I like that he signed it. He was cool too. I asked him about UFOs.
Well, you can't sell personalized shit. Nobody cares.
No, it just has his name on it. It just has
Like
his
Dave's
signature.
got some Wayne Gretzky shit that is for him, but he's
Yeah,
also
that's
got
not as good.
he's got a puck that's just signed on the Edmonton Oilers, and that is probably worth a lot. Like that is, if you can get it authenticated, that's worth a lot.
Yeah, I don't have too much personalized shit. I'll say that as far as my signature stuff. Although I haven't got a lot of signatures.
You don't have anything from Lundqvist saying, "If you blow me, I'll blow you back."
No, I have a signed Lindquist puck that's just his name signed on a puck. That's all I have of his. But I also have. I mean, this is probably
like, meet me outside underneath.
This is probably not particularly worth a lot. I mean, maybe it's Jim Cornette, who's a famous wrestling manager. I have a signed action figure that says "Thank you, fuck you, bye." Signed Jim Cornette.
I don't know who that is.
You can search Jim Cornette. You'll.
No, I know, but if the average idiot can't recognize it, it's probably not worth money.
The thing is, the average wrestling fan will, though.
Okay, so maybe you can tap into some niche market, but
oh yeah. He's
like that goes very big.
He's a pretty famous wrestling manager. He's probably the most famous wrestling manager, maybe the second most, but he always had a tennis racket with him. He's very outspoken against shitty wrestling. He's become like a podcast sensation too. He like talks so much shit on wrestling. So
I don't know this person.
But yeah, he was definitely. I mean, he was around during the Attitude Era of the rest of the WWF. He was there, so he exists in that format. But that's one of the few things I've signed. I also have what else do I have signed? That's about it. I don't think I have much signed. You have more signed, probably things. Don't you have something signed? Don't you have some sports
No,
stuff signed?
I really just have cards.
Yeah, I didn't have.
I don't have much memorabilia at all. I just have cards.
I wish I had more signed stuff. I feel awkward going to get things signed and then meeting them, and it's just like it feels so like bullshitty.
Well, I have like a couple cards that I could get signed, and elevate the value because they're not great. They're not in great condition. So
Hey, we
like,
passed
if I got
Jake.
Damian Thompson's autograph or Ichiro
Yeah.
Suzuki, it would add value to what I got graded.
Oh, I
But
bet it would. Yeah.
sometimes if the condition's really bad, they just grade the autograph, and that's good because it distracts away from how shitty the condition of the card is, you know? And grading the quality of an autograph is pretty lenient, you know, like to get like a bad autograph grade is rare because literally
Yeah.
like they're just doing the same fucking thing over and over and over again.
Right.
Maybe it smudges or something. I don't know. I really don't understand how you wouldn't get a 10.
Yeah, I think that's all political a little bit too. They might they'll give their friends a 10 on anything. Like if you're friends with the CGC or
Oh
something,
yeah,
they'll
if you
give
don't think this
I think that's
motherfucker
it, man. I've
um,
heard stories of
don't
that where
have
it's like
like
perfect copies that'll get a 7 that
yeah,
should have probably been a 10.
there's insider trading with everything. Like you don't think
That's kind of what I think
this is
is
just like
happening.
stock market where these assholes are just setting each other up for success. You're in it.
Well, yeah, especially like looking at those cards where you see there's like a $48,000 difference on that Star
And there's a
Wars
lot
card
of
than the
these,
10 and the 9.
quote
It's
unquote
crazy.
influencers in sports cars where they just are manipulated like
Yeah.
fake
And also I wonder like let's say you
sharps
had a
and geniuses
10.
and all that kind
Let's
of
say you
shit.
had a 10. I bet you they'd contact you and be like, "You want us to auction it?" You know, like they probably want a piece of that auction. You know what I mean? Like that's what they do. It's probably like if we find 10s, we're gonna or we make 10s in quotes, we're gonna kind of take a piece. We're gonna try to have you auction it through us. You know, like I can see that happening tons.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
makes
really
sense.
it's like and I've learned this from DFS. It's like a self-serving platform where they have stooges that make you think it's like the everyman, but they're bought and sold just advertisements.
I think that
You
is
know,
what it is.
and you think like it's just happenstance they come into luck, but it's all just been predisposition set up shit. Like
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, well, I gotta rock a piss here, but we're gonna head out. We're
yeah,
at
you want to call it?
twitter.com. You gotta do the same. That's kind of what happens these
Yeah.
time of night.
Okay. I'm
All
out.
right, later, man. We're twitter.com/wizard_shack. Follow us there. Follow us everywhere. You can stalk our lives, you can stalk our streams. We will be fine with that. See you guys.